Who wants to do more damage? Musk wants to do more damage to Americans. He thinks $715 billion Medicaid cuts, not enough. $500 billion Medicare cuts, not enough. He wants to do more damage to Americans. And he's not saying, I care so much about this budget deficit, I want to pay more taxes. I want to give more to my country. He's saying, I care so much, I want to take more from poor people. So yes, there is a black hat MAGA and there's a red hat MAGA. Red hat MAGA bottom up wants to, it's more the working class. But the black hat folks, they are the billionaire, the ultra elite, and there's not enough pain and suffering they can inflict on the American people that would make them happy, and there's not enough protection for their own companies that they could get that would make them happy, and that's what's going on.
David Urban, President Trump has been attacking Republican senators who oppose the bill. He specifically singled out Kentucky Senator Rand Paul on Truth Social, saying, quote, Rand Paul has very little understanding of the big, beautiful bill, especially the tremendous growth that is coming. He loves voting no on everything. He thinks it's good politics, but it's not, unquote. Senator Paul, like Elon Musk, says he's opposed to this $5 trillion increase in the debt ceiling that the bill includes, according to some projection. What is Trump's strategy here going after Rand Paul?
I'm not sure what it's going after Rand Paul, but I think he's going to have to corral a lot of Republican senators. And you got to get, you only need 51 here, and it's still tough to get 51 because the numbers are pretty tough. There's a lot going on in this bill. There's a lot of good things in this bill, but there's a lot of tough things for people to swallow. Primarily is the growth in the deficit and the debt. Republicans used to care about that, and they do to a certain extent. But how they're going to juggle this all and have no tax on tips and give the SALT cap a lift and all these things that want to happen without cutting big programs, as Van is talking about. It's a balancing act. And so I think what some of the things that Van is talking about, maybe they're talking about kicking folks who are illegal immigrants off of SNAP and some of these entitlement programs, but they're big and they're huge programs, and I'm not quite sure how you get there. And then Jake, there's going to be a problem because let's say the Senate does pass it, they change it a bit. It's got to go back to the House, and you got to pass it in the House. If you can do that before July 4th, like the president's asking, that's a magic trick I'd like to see done. I think the X date that Scott Bessent's going to set the X date for raising the debt ceiling somewhere closer to August, the August recess, pushing everybody into into real work mode and finding some compromise. And that's how the sausage gets made, right? Nobody wants to see it, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to compromise because the largest tax increase in history is going to happen if this bill doesn't get passed. I think Donald Trump's going to use that to shoehorn this in, and it's going to get passed.
Van, you alluded to this in your previous answer about the AI provisions that were in legislation. So we know now that Congressman Mike Flood and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene say that they voted for that bill and didn't know about every provision. And Marjorie Taylor Greene took to Twitter or X and said, full transparency, I did not know about this section that strips states of the right to make laws or regulate AI for 10 years. I am adamantly opposed to this, and it's a violation of state rights, and I would have voted no if I'd known this was in there. She got blasted by Democrats saying that's literally your only job is to read the legislation. But do you think this is an opportunity for Democrats to kill this bill, which they want to do?
Look, this is terrible. This is not a little bit bad. This is terrible. This idea that the AI companies who are in mad race against each other to unleash ungodly capabilities out into the wild, that they're just going to be able to not have to deal with a California that knows a lot about this. Massachusetts knows a lot about this. You have red states that have a lot of concerns. Everybody gets thrown out the door, and it's just going to be a federal government that can very easily lobby with their billions of dollars to get whatever they want done. And you're knocking out a big chunk of American democracy. No elected official, except for 535 in the capital of America, will have any say at all whatsoever about the biggest transformational technology in the history of the world. It's nuts, it's crazy, it's dangerous, it's Looney Tunes. And if Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to get a pass or a cookie for pointing out on Twitter that she voted for something that's terrible, maybe she gets half a cookie. I don't get it.
David, final word?
Yeah, the only thing that's worse than what Van's talking about is 50 states try to pass each individual little state bill regulating AI. You think the Chinese have a jump on us now? Wait till California reconciles with New York and Vermont and New Hampshire, we'll be all speaking Mandarin because the Chinese will run the world because we'll be so far behind in AI. We might as well just fold up the house if we got to have 50 states regulating AI. Impossible.
Smarter way to get there, and what you've seen already so far is that the federal government is already completely captive of the AI industry, and it's only going to get worse.
All right, Van Jones, David Urban, thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. We're moving next to the debate rocking high school athletics, trans athletes in girls and women's sports, the new pressure that the Trump administration